What's up, everybody? It is a Blue Drake, and today I wanted to make a internal video for just followers. This isn't something I want to post publicly. Because again, I don't really like editing these videos because it takes too much time, and I just really kind of want to get the information out there for people who want to know about it, which is not going to be that many people, and I don't want to waste time and upload it to the main channel subscriber feed because I don't think there's that many people that are really interested in this kind of stuff. But there are some people who are interested in it. And what I wanted to talk about today is YouTube's trends. YouTube's trends, not just for tactical gaming, but for gaming in general, viewership, and a bunch of other things that I've been wanting to talk about and just haven't. And what we're going to be talking about today is specifically the past few years of YouTube and how it has been manipulating itself and changing not just the way that it works, but the kind of content that is successful and how they're changing the content that is successful. Because obviously they don't just go in there and press buttons and are like, yeah, this is what's gonna be good this year. It's a little bit more subtle than that. But I want to give you my 2 cents. Obviously, I don't know everything about this either. YouTube is very simply a information war. I work with a whole bunch of YouTubers. In fact, there's been a lot of talk of unionization. There's a bunch of discords where all of the YouTubers kind of congregate and we just talk about these things and analyze things. And it's actually gotten very strange over the past couple of years. More and more, we've actually had YouTube public relations people coming to us asking what we've been seeing in YouTube and how the changes are affecting YouTubers and also what best practices are. I don't understand how they can ask what the best practices are for their own platform. But I think it also points a lot to the AI driving content and driving recommendations more and more and more. And YouTube itself is not as aware of their own platform as they used to be, and they don't have as much control over it. But some of the things that they do still do have big impacts on uh, the platform. And also, there are a lot of politically motivated things that they do that also have ripple effects across the platform. Obviously, pushing political correctness, persecuting certain types of content, and beyond. But, anyways, let's go over a couple of the basics. This is my viewership trends since 2016. Right around here was the height of my YouTube career, or at least the height of my viewership. This was when I had around um, this was when I had around 150,000 subscribers, and I was getting a high of 3 million and an average of, let's say, 2.5, maybe 2 to 2.5, but a high of 3.5 to 4. And this is when I stopped uploading videos right here, which you can obviously clearly see. And then there's obviously, this is every so often I'll post a cut. This is when I post like one video. And then here's post another video. I posted a couple of videos this month. So this is when I actually start posting again. Every so often. We'll see if that actually, if I start doing that regularly again. But I want to start looking at some global trends that I've seen that obviously affect a lot more than just me. Obviously, it affects how I decide, like whether I want to start regularly uploading again or not. Like whether it's worth it, or even not if it's just not worth it. It's really frustrating to put a lot of work into something and then realize that the success of that is just completely out of your control, and not just completely out of your control, but also sometimes like intentionally stopped based off of like political correctness and all that stuff. But here, when I stopped uploading videos around here, I was talking a lot about how YouTube was stifling tactical creators, how YouTube was trying to classify tactical gamers as as war journalists and demonetizing all of their content, but also not just demonetizing all of their content, but slowly pushing out their content so that it doesn't get as much viewership, it doesn't get as much reach because it's not advertiser friendly. And I love conspiracy theories like this, obviously. Unfortunately, because a lot more often than should be, they're not wrong. And the conspiracy theories are more accurate than many people would have you believe, which is a shame. And I kind of wish a lot more of these conspiracy theories were actually just completely ridiculous, because then we'd live in a much better world. But let's go through the impacts that have happened over the past couple of years since we started talking about this in early 2017, and it's almost 2019 now, so almost about 2 years. Um, and if you go across all of the other tactical gamer channels across the board, you start noticing a trend in the past couple of years. These are other examples that we're gonna go into. There's actually a few, I should probably pull up more, but I figured this would be enough. And as you guys can see, around early 2017, all of these creators got hit by the exact same thing, and it wasn't immediate. I'm not really sure if I'd classify Level Cap as a tactical gamer, but for some reason he's being affected. Devil Dog is obviously being affected. You can see that there's little spikes here. Maybe something happened. I think Escape from Tarkov like released something, or who knows. But you can see that there's like a downtrend. I mean, it's a very strong downtrend now, obviously. And we have enough data for the past couple of years now where you can start clearly seeing the implications of this. And let me basically go over what this is and why I believe this is happening. Basically, what is going on is YouTube is trying to find ways to slowly push out non-family friendly content, of which they are using a very large net to enforce. And they don't like tactical content. They don't like tactical shooters. They don't like shooters about war. In fact, especially with Diplex Heated, you can notice that
What
Diplex
is up, guys?
Heated,
Diplex here again.
he's not necessarily a tactical gamer. Uh, but he covers a lot of content that is war related, and it's titled in ways that are war related. Massive German convoy, British-Italian border battle, brutal Finnish winter town battle, U.S. Marine invasion of French Indonesia. A lot of stuff that obviously, even though it's a real-time strategy game, is triggering those kinds of filters. And it's not just automated filters. What I think is happening is there's a combination of manual and automated filters. So basically, the algorithm goes through and it flags a bunch of things, and then you'll have people who manually review it, and then based on their manual review, that will judge how accurate the algorithm is. And going forward, if you have a channel which is getting flagged by the algorithm, or I hate using that word algorithm because the word algorithm is very vague. But I think it's actually kind of appropriate because the reason it's referred to as the algorithm is because YouTube doesn't release any information on how it works or what it is, or even if it's a multifaceted system. For instance, it might be a lot more than just one, like weird single mastermind AI that's doing things. It might be a collection of systems and automated AI across a wide variety, like a huge network, because obviously YouTube's massive and it might have a lot of different elements to it. But since they are very specifically not disclosing really any information of how it works other than really vague stuff. You just kind of have to refer to it as like the algorithm. But when you look at the trends, what you'll start to notice is you'll get automatically flagged. Obviously, YouTube takes into consideration that the flags might be inaccurate, and then they have people manually review your stuff, usually because it'll get demonetized, and then um, you'll file a, oh, God damn it, what's the word? See, I can't even edit this video, so I'm not going to make this. Uh, File a complaint, file a rebuttal, that works, whatever. You'll file a rebuttal, the manual review will come in, it will check if the automated flag was accurate or not, and I believe there's even a middle ground. I think that the automated system might be flagging videos that if you file a rebuttal and you actually get it remonetized, even though you get that video remonetized, the person who manually reviewed it still marks that video as accurately marked, and they just allow you to remonetize it because they don't want to fight with you. And YouTube is in the middle of like this kind of balance between damage control but also still wanting to do what they want to do, which is stifle this kind of content. So a lot of the times if you put up a fight, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, we were wrong, sorry." But secretly, they're still going to be like, oh, "Okay, we were actually right." So just keep flagging him, you know? Like just keep kind of tagging that content because we can use that in order to push down that kind of content long term outside of monetization without pissing people off. Because obviously it's a lot easier to say, hey, they're demonetizing my channel than it is to say, hey, they're making my channel not be successful. Because then all they have to be like is like, well, maybe you're not following best practices, or maybe, you know, something, maybe it's your fault, maybe it's not us, even though it very likely is. So anyways, this is kind of a very good example of the kind of content that's being targeted on YouTube that's attempted to be removed. And it's going beyond just titles. You have to keep in mind there is no real way to bypass this because there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, well, I just need to change how my titles look, or I need to change my descriptions, or I need to change my thumbnails so it's harder for the algorithm to automatically see whether or not my stuff is regarding conflicts. You know, so people would try to, instead of Italian, they'd put like an exclamation mark, or instead of invasion, they'd put like a, I don't know, like a 5 instead of an S or something, trying to like. But you have to keep in mind, because this is an automated system and a manual system, you might be able to trick an AI, and even then, that's kind of debatable. But you're not going to be able to trick people, and they actually do have people going through looking at this stuff. That's the whole point of the YouTube. What was it? The YouTube contributor thing? They have that YouTube Heroes, the whole YouTube Heroes thing. So you're not going to fool anybody. It's not going to work. It's not just all algorithm based, which is also why it's so hard to combat. Because they are actively looking for you. They are actively looking for you and trying to change what is successful. So, anyways, and there's also another element of this on how people get traffic that we're going to go into later, but we'll go into that later. But anyways, so a lot of the people that are affected by this are tactical YouTubers who aren't necessarily like hardcore milsim, because obviously the hardcore milsim that's not saying the hardcore milsim guys aren't affected. Those guys are just so obviously affected that it just doesn't matter. But it's also everybody else. So like Devil Dog Gamer. Devil Dog Gamer isn't necessarily like a milsim gamer. I mean, he kind of, you guys know Devil
What's
Dog.
up, guys?
Oh, don't copyright strike. He's not going to copyright. Sorry, Devil Dog, if you're watching this, that I'm using you for an example. I swear this is entirely for educational purposes. But you all know Devil Dog Gamer. He's not necessarily just a tactical gamer. He does all sorts of other stuff, like he plays Atlas, Ark, He does videos on car games and Kerbal Space Program. He actually does a lot of kind of similar games to what I do, because I don't just play tactical games either, and he plays a lot. Uh, I would say that I'm a lot more focused on like teamwork tactical games, but the games that aren't tactical that we play are pretty similar. Like we both play Kerbal Space Program, we both play Space Engineers. I'm not really into car games, so that's his thing. But this is what's killing him right here. This stuff. The SIG. I think he knows this too. There's no way he doesn't. Um, but the weapon platforms. So Glock 19, Double Star, the Scorpion, anything, even this meet and greet fan range time. This is the kind of stuff where the algorithm maybe wouldn't figure it out, but a YouTube hero or a manual reviewer would figure it out. They would eventually see this gun and they'd be like, "Oh, okay," and they'd flag that. And then the more you get flagged, the more they manually review you. So the more they'll continue like manually. Keep in mind, this is all like because it's hard to figure this stuff out because it's an information war. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's not accurate. How do you know these things?" I don't know everything, and it's very hard to figure it out because they are working against you to try and keep you from figuring these things out. I know that sounds very conspiracy-y, but I got to assure you it really isn't. The way these companies work is their objective is to get what they want while creating as little of a scuffle as they can. They don't want to go all out and have a big like expose showing what they're doing. They don't want to like they know that this stuff is controversial. They know that. Uh, but they don't really care. But because they know it's controversial, they're trying to deal with it as underhandedly as entirely possible. I'm not sure if they would describe it that way. I'm sure they would describe it differently, where they're like, "Oh, we're just avoiding conflict," or they would try to spin it in the other direction, where it's like, "We're trying to promote content that's not violent," or something like they would spin it somehow. When in reality, they're just persecuting people that they don't like and that represent ideologies and content that they don't like. But anyways, so this is kind of a good example. Devil Dog Gamer covers obviously a wide variety of games, but since he covers games that are kind of like war related and also very specifically the gun videos, which are great videos by the way. See, I love gun. See, here's the frustrating thing. There's a whole demographic of people that love guns and are like gun nerds that I feel like are more educational than they are like they're not just making gun videos like, "Oh yeah, we love gun." Like a lot of these people, they're not even it's not even political. They're not even making videos about guns talking about gun rights or anything like that. It's just showing guns and how they work and like it's interesting. I don't know. And obviously YouTube hates that as well, so they're trying to like persecute the hell out of anybody. But I feel like I don't know, that's a whole nother political thing. I feel like from an educational standpoint, like if you look at some videos, like look at this, smarter everyday suppressor. I mean, this is like a fucking golden boy of YouTube content. Is smarter every day, and I feel
I
like these are the kinds of guys that they give a pass. So they'll like manually review this and be like, "Oh, okay, never mind." I'm sure if he did more of these videos, they would start like persecuting him. But like he does this entire video on how like a suppressor works. It would be interesting. I wonder if this video actually did get demonetized. I feel like it. I feel like it might have. But even though it got demonetized, I don't think his channel has been flagged. Um, and yeah, we'll go into that later because there's there's a little bit more information about how channels are flagged and stuff like that that I want to talk about. But we'll just keep this kind of on topic. But when you look at all these channels, they all have very similar content, very similar undesirable content, content that YouTube's trying to push off. And you'll notice since 2017, all of these channels are slow. And there's more. There's more examples of this. Are all kind of getting the boot. Yeah, because like look at level cap. This was when See, we had the same. Look, we have like the exact same highs and lows. It's hilarious. 2016, 2016. It's all the same. It's the same. It's the same demographic. It's the same market. It's like the same viewer economy. It's all very linked. I know people don't really realize that, and they'll say stuff be like, "Oh yeah, but yeah, that's just your channel." It's like, no, you don't. You got to keep this in mind. Like, if I have 250,000 subscribers, and Shermanator has 250,000 subscribers, I guarantee you almost 80% plus of those people, maybe not 80%, but a significant portion is the exact same people. Because it's all the same niche demographic. It's the same. You have the hardcore people that subscribe first, and then if you're lucky, you get big, and you have a bunch of people that don't really watch YouTube all that much that also subscribe to you. But the core demographics are all the same. So like when one person suffers, you'll often see it across the board because it's not just that person. It's large global shifts in the market, often artificial shifts that are actually being made to happen by the platform itself, by YouTube making changes based off of like political motives and stuff like that. So when you look at all this content, obviously it's all dunking hard since 2017. Obviously the ad apocalypse factored into this, and that's what kicked everybody in the ass, and they were like, oh man, we really need to kick up our non-advertiser friendly policies, but we also don't want to do it in a way that pisses off our creators. So how can we do it in a way that's as underhanded as possible? Let's just slowly start pushing down their content. And there's some people that could kind of bring up like an alternative, but like here, take a look at this. So this is Karmakut. This is something that people say, hey, look, no, the industry's not dead. The market's not dead. These are just old YouTubers, and there's other up-and-coming YouTubers um, that are taking the market. And I actually don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think it's a little bit true. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, but look, it's the same kind of situation, and this is a false flag. So when you look at this, this is Karmakut, right? Love you, Karmakut, talking about your channel. This is Karmakut, and you can see that he's been growing since around 2017, and now he's kind of like peaking out around 2018. And he's got around 150, 160,000 subscribers, right? Okay, so he's getting an average. He's getting a high of 2 mil, and he's getting an average, if we're being really nice, because obviously he's getting an average about 1.5. So high of 2, average of 1, 1.5, and he's at around 160,000 subscribers. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but he is at the same number of subscribers that I was in 2016 now. So 2 years ago, he has the same number of subscribers, and he is getting roughly half of the viewership. Even my low points. My low points is his high points. And there's a couple of so what is happening here? The reason this is a false flag is because a lot of people are saying like, oh, because it's easy to look at level cap. Level Cap's still getting 4.5 million views, right? But if you look at his trends, back in 2017, he was averaging around 10 mil. 10 mil. If you look at Devil Dag, he's getting around 1.5 million views. But in 2017, he was averaging around like 3 to 4 every single month. And look at this consistency. Look at this consistency in these trends. Like this is not like just out of nowhere. This is like I wish I could go back further. If you were to go back to like 24, it's very consistent. And then you can start seeing clear shifts across the board. And what's the thing is like, imagine this chart kind of like makes this low point more exaggerated so you can understand. But imagine if you didn't have any of this data. Because this is all the same demographic, right? This is the same market. Imagine if you didn't have any of this data and Level Cap started his channel in April 2018. Then it would look like an uptrend, which is why it looks like an uptrend with Karmakut. Because Karmakut kind of like started his channel around here, and he's having an uptrend up to the new ceiling. And it's the same thing with Drewski. So you look at Drewski, he's got about 510,000 subscribers, about a half mil. And he's started very recently, and he's had a strong uptrend, but he is just now hitting the ceiling. You can see he hit the ceiling around here. So this was his uptrend. He hit the ceiling. The algorithm started assessing him and was like, okay, this guy's probably good. He's got a lot of connections. He's also he has a strong advantage because he's connected with a couple of other strong channels, such as God, what's the fucking name? What's the name? Demolition Ranch. That's what it is. Because obviously he's related to Demolition Ranch. But because he gets a lot of cross-feed from there, the algorithm actually notices that, and will actually propel him as well. Because it sees that they share that demographic. I wonder if he actually... Hold up, I want to see something. I wonder if it detected this. Hold up, I'm going to see this. Is he actually in the related... Is he in the bubble? No, he's still in the other bubble. I was wondering if they were actually going to put Demolition Ranch in his bubble, his related channel bubble. But it hasn't done that yet, so we'll have to see. That doesn't really matter. It's just another kind of... There's a whole nother theory that I've been working on about YouTube bubbles and viewership bubbles. Because like I said, like if you look at the Game Guards, like he has 250, I have 250. I wouldn't be surprised if a huge portion of those are the exact same people. And the algorithm, the nice big vague word of the algorithm, actually knows this, and it keeps track of viewership bubbles. And you can actually engineer your way into certain people's bubbles in the same way that, like, on Steam, you can engineer your way into becoming a related game to, like, fuck off. There's a whole strategy on Steam where if you do things right, you can find, like, a successful game like Far Cry, and you could, like, engineer your way into being a similar game and having a similar fan base, and then you will get recommended. Come on, go. There we go. Fuck off. You'll get recommended. Oh yeah, on more like this. Here it is. Yeah, more like Fallen Earth, Borderlands, Unturned. Let's see if I can find some like indie. Yeah, see these guys. See, look at this. These little fucking games that like either nobody plays or not very many people like. There's a whole way that you can tag yourself and engineer yourself into these bubbles, because the Steam's algorithm, which they also don't talk about very much on how it works, you can engineer your way into getting into these little bubbles. It's the same thing with YouTube. If you can figure out the bubble that you're in, you can engineer your way. In fact, one of the ways that we've seen, this is slightly a tangent, but it's a really interesting tangent. One of the ways that I've seen people try to engineer their way into a bubble is you can't unsubscribe people from your channel. So if you look at this, there's like 220,000 subscribers for Shermanator, right? Oh my God, this changes everything. This kind of stuff changes everything. It's ridiculous. So there's 220,000 subscribers for Shermanator. How many of those do you want to think are bots? Because it's the same thing with Facebook. With Facebook, there's a whole bunch of bot accounts, and those bot accounts will actually follow pages even though they don't actually read anything they do, because there's a variety of reasons that you would do that for financial reasons. So like, you follow a bunch of pages so your account doesn't get flagged as a bot, so that way you can use your bot in order to make money. And it's the same thing on YouTube. There's a lot of incentives to making bot accounts on YouTube. In fact, you see this all the time. Very recently, YouTube just noticed. See, they made an announcement where they said, "Oh, hey, we're removing a bunch of accounts from different YouTubers that we've found out are bots." And you'll see this over time. In fact, almost every single day, you'll actually see it. You'll see these random spikes. It happens like maybe once every couple of weeks, sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes once a day. Like a year ago, they were going through a big-ass purge, and you would lose like a whole bunch. They obviously don't want to like remove, like 25,000 people from a channel with only 218,000. But like I said, it's a balance between damage control and not damage control. But one of the ways that I've seen trying to engineer your way into related channels is you find a channel like, I don't know, Jack Frags, that has a whole bunch of bot accounts, and then you get those accounts to follow your channel as well. So even though you don't technically share any similar viewers at all, you can engineer your way into getting pushed into the same bubble. And if you're in the same viewership bubble and YouTube thinks that you guys have, like you and another YouTuber have similar content, and if you enforce that by actually having similar content, you'll be able to basically take their viewership by engineering yourself into getting your videos related to all of theirs and recommended next to all of theirs, as well as getting onto their related channels promotions and stuff like that. It's, oh my god, dude, it's so dirty. It's, dude, you guys have no idea the kind of stuff that gets ridiculous. It gets fucking ridiculous. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So you've seen this downtrend over the past couple, and I think that people like this are a false flag, because you've got this guy at a 500,000 getting the same amount of viewership that 2 years ago he would have gotten at at a half, maybe even a fourth of the followers. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason for this is subscriber saturation. So for instance, like, I think that 2 years ago the average subscriber was subscribed to like 250 channels, and now it's like 500, 750 or something like that. There's like, so these people, you have people that are like subscribed to you. So you have, let's say hypothetically you have 500,000 subscribers. Well, 2 years ago those 500,000 subscribers were subscribed to less people in total. So they were subscribed, you took up a bigger portion of the videos that were suggested to them every single day. So that's one. But the other big one is that YouTube is actually pushing this content down. Because these downtrends don't make any sense, because the subscriber inflation ratio, which is what, I don't know, that's what we call it, has been going on for years. It's been going on since like 2013, and that's actually, and it's very similar to like American currency inflation. It's inflation, but that's why you'll notice if you look at, let's see here, does this go back further than 2016? God, I wish it did. But if you look at this, Devil Dog back in 2015 had 630 whatever K subs, and then at 2017 he had 850K. So like almost double, but his viewership stays exactly the same. That's the inflation ratio. So that's one big problem with YouTube, is that you have to constantly gain subscribers to stay in the exact same place. And people who just started a channel here don't realize that, and they now have to get 500, 600, 800,000 subscribers to get the same number of views that you would have gotten for 2, 3, 400,000 subscribers 3 years ago. But in addition to that, and what I'm saying here is Devil Dog has actually been keeping up with this trend. He's actually been, his growth versus his inflation rate has actually been consistent this entire time until now. And that's across the fucking board. And the reason, and then the places where that's not across the board is because these are new people. These are new people who've just started a channel, and now they're blitzing up and hitting a ceiling. But if you actually take all of the data and you compare it to the data now, all that's happening is they're starting sooner, and then they're hitting the ceiling. So they're hitting that ceiling that they don't even maybe even know exists. And the ceiling is being artificially lowered by YouTube because they're trying to push out controversial content. So anyways, this is actually one of the reasons that I stopped. This is one of the, this is no single reason. But this is one of the reasons that I stopped doing YouTube, at least as a career. Obviously, you guys notice that I still post videos, but I kind of more post videos because I want to now and because it's fun for me. I'm not really trying to make it a living anymore. I was full time for like, God, 4 years. I think it was like 4 years. It was great, good times. But it is really frustrating because it's not a great idea to have a career where your viability and your sustainability, because I mean you got to keep in mind, like, YouTube, they don't have health benefits, they don't have like unemployment. Like, it's not like if you get fired you get like a fucking, what's it called, like a severance pay or anything like that. There's no retirement plan. There's not shit. Like, it's literally, you are just purely an entrepreneur, and if they decide to nix you, you're fucked. Because that's the only benefit. See, that's actually, I think that's the biggest thing. The only benefit to YouTube, and the only benefit to that, because it would be great, right? Like, obviously they don't have health benefits. Obviously they don't have any of the like things that you would traditionally get from like normal employment. But the idea there is that it's a free market, right? If it's a free market, well, then your success is unmetered. And if your success is unmetered, well, then the idea is that you could make way more than you would ever be able to make if you were working in a like a normal employment setting, which is why employers have those kinds of benefits. Like, if you go and you get a job for 50,000 a year, you're probably making your boss, or you're making that company that you're working for, $200,000 a year for the work that you're doing. But they offset that pay cut, basically, like, since, because obviously that fluctuates. Like, maybe one day they're gonna make one month they're gonna make 200,000 a year, and then a couple months later they'll be making 100,000, but you get paid a flat 50,000 the entire time. But you get a whole bunch of other things, like you get unemployment, you get health care benefits, you get all this other stuff to basically offset the fact that you're letting them fuck you. And the whole idea of things like YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that is like, okay, so you don't get all these employment benefits, but it's a free market. So, you can just go. It's unmetered. Your success is unmetered, which means you get all of your profits. You get all the money that there is to make. You get all of it. But what if I said that's not true? So if you actually get to a point where you are making a full-time living off of YouTube, then they will actually gate you. So you're still gated, which means you're playing a rigged game. Which is oh my god, it's terrible. It's very disheartening. But basically it gets to this point where if they don't like what you're saying, if they don't like, it doesn't matter if there's actually a demographic out there that's interested in your kind of content, they'll gate you. They will 100% gate you. Um which is fucking brutal. And I'm not the only person that realized this in around 2016, 2017. I have a bunch of friends that also saw this trend. One of them was Baron von Games. I love Baron. Baron's a fucking genius. I love working with Baron. He's a really cool guy. But around the same time, Baron saw the exact same thing that I did. The exact same thing. We talked about it. We've talked about it with a whole bunch of other people, and he did the same thing I did. He just ditched, and then he pivoted completely to family-friendly content. And you'll notice the family-friendly content, like, and he's hitting like 11, he's hitting insane numbers now because YouTube is pushing this. They are pushing this so hard. And this is the same trend that the people who saw this trend coming and actually had understanding of what was going on with YouTube just completely pivoted, because basically when this kind of stuff happens, you have two choices. You either stick to your guns and you say, fuck this, I'm going to stick to my kind of content, fuck YouTube, I don't care, and then you just basically let them fuck you. Or you just pivot out of it completely and you capitulate, and then you just do what you can tell that they want you to do, and then you can hopefully succeed from that. But then I don't know. So the thing is that this is Baron. I love Baron, and Baron wanted me to basically. They all did. Baron and Blitz and Star Snipe and all those guys. We had lots of conversations, and Baron specifically, he's a really good friend of mine. He's a really great guy. Wanted me to basically come with him on this journey, and ditch the old ways of tactical gaming, because like fuck it, it's, you know, if YouTube's gonna fucking fuck us all, then let's beat them at their own game, man. Let's beat them at their own fucking game. Um, and he wanted me to pivot into family-friendly content, and it worked actually. This is why I started my Blue Plays channel. So if you look at, do I even have this? Let's see, I don't know if I have this. Drakelings? I renamed it recently. Oh yeah, here it is. So if you look at this, oh well, shit. I guess that was 2 years ago. Can I go back further? Can I go back further? Oh yeah. So if you look at this, what happened was I started a channel, and then within a fucking month I literally started my channel, and then within 1 month I had 300,000 views. And it was the same thing. It was the exact same play that Baron was gonna do, because he started his channel, and like within 3 months, 12 mil. It's insane. It's ridiculous how much you can gain the system if you just do what they want. It's crazy. And they convinced me to give it a shot, but it's soul sucking, man. Like, you just want to fucking, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. I tried. I tried super hard. I put my fucking all into it, but like, I can't fucking do it. It was pretty fun, like, cause some of the games, are pretty dope.
Same.
Yeah, it says.
Today we're going to be looking at the P-47 and some of the combat scenarios that we were.
You took out my landing gear and like part of my fuselage. I'm okay. No, hold up, something's wrong. Oh!
So I mean, it's cool and all, but like, I can't do it. I'd rather fucking kill myself. I tried. I really put my all into it, but I can't fucking do it, man. It's so sad though that that's like all you have to do is just kind of like pivot your content to what they want. But then the other problem is I started doing videos like nuclear explosion and like air attack run, P-47, and I can't get away from my fascination with like military combat and tactical gaming. So I started doing like family friendly content, but then I slowly started pivoting into like I started pivoting into like family-friendly tactical gaming, which is a problem, because if you look at Diplex Heated and stuff like that, there's a chance that this could also get flagged. Like, unless you're actually doing completely family-friendly content, because my problem is that I'm pivoting into non-family, like tactical, which might be close enough where it would also get flagged. And then on top of that, I just can't. It feels fake, and it just makes me want to fucking die. So I can't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But this is basically the trend. So all the people that I was working with at the time who saw this trend and pivoted out, are killing it now. Obviously, they're destroying it. And I've pivoted out. Basically, I did the exact same thing. They wanted me to come do the whole family-friendly thing. I just couldn't fucking do it. But I've pivoted into something completely different. I have a career outside of YouTube now, which is great, and I love it. It's fucking awesome. So I just, and it's still in the software development, game development industry. So it's not even, I don't even have to go get a job at like my old IT hospital gig where I was like a server architecture, which was actually also pretty cool. So I actually love what I do now, and it's still pretty similar to what I did in terms of my YouTube as well. But it's more like cerebral, which is also great. But anyways, this is the trend. This is where everything is going. And if you look over the past couple of years, you'll notice this trend of YouTube forcing out tactical gaming, and anything that's considered not advertiser friendly. And you'll have a couple of false flags. Like, you have people like this who have started their channel recently, and then they hit that. But when you still compare these metrics back to the metrics, like, these people have to succeed 5 times as much to get to the exact same place that they could have been 5 years ago. So every single year, you have to basically double your followers. You have to, in order to stay even. And then even on top of that, you run the risk of being gated for your content at any time. So if you do something like it's gotten to the point where like there's almost no reason to do tactical gaming on YouTube at all. Because like if Karmakut were to pivot into family-friendly content like right now, he would probably make 10 times as much. And the funny thing is that it's also a limited time offer because everybody's figuring this out, and the kids-friendly market is also becoming saturated as well. Who is it? Spy Cakes, I think. So you'll look at a lot of people like this. So this is another channel that's been created recently, and it started in 2017. Well, he didn't start. He started in 2016. So look at this channel started in 2016, and in 2 years, doing family-friendly content, he's pushing 30, 40 million views. That's insane. And this guy, because he is probably also like the problem with doing like non-family friendly content is not only is your viewership being gated, not only are you being gated, but on top of that, you're being demonetized. And when you look at family-friendly content, not only are you not being gated, or at least not being as gated, but at the same time, you're probably getting what is it? The Google Premier, Google Preferred ad rates, which is like $4. So this person is probably making $100,000 to $200,000 a month off of ad revenue alone. Ad revenue alone. He's making $2 million a year off of ad revenue alone, which is insane. And he started his channel in 2016. Oh wait, well, created in 2012, but I guess he started doing his channel in like 2016. And if you pivot to the right areas, like it just it explodes. It explodes. And this is just kind of another example of YouTube using its influence for what I see as political purposes. I know that they're probably going to say that it's for staying advertiser friendly and all of that stuff. There's a lot of things that they could do in order to keep advertisers happy. While also preserving the ability for people to do what they want. Like, let me put it this way. I actually don't understand. Well, I mean, I do understand. I know exactly why they're doing this. But there is really no reason why there shouldn't be an option for advertisers to advertise directly on channels themselves. So, for instance, take this for example. If you were to look at, I don't know, let's go here. Stop it. Devil Dog Gamer. So, I'm using Adblock Devil Dog. I'm sorry. I'll have to turn that off here for a second for this whole, like... How do I turn this off? There we go. Boink. So when you look at Devil Dog Gamer, let's take a look at a video. Let's take a look at Insurgency Sandstorm.
I just tried.
So look at this.
Amazon.
These are all ads. Here, I'm making you some money, Devil. So this is an ad for Amazon Wikibuy. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know, whatever. But this is a company that's paying for ads on YouTube and getting their ads placed across the website on different advertisers' channels. So, you know, like for instance, so if I watch, I mean, you guys know how this fucking works. If I watch this video, Devil Dog gets paid this money because there's a company that goes through YouTube. They don't go through Devil Dog. They go through YouTube, and then they just buy ads, and then YouTube decides where those ads go based on criteria that that client provides YouTube. So if they say, oh, we want it paid on gaming content, or we want it on everything, we're going to buy ads, and then bam, there you go. Now, here's the thing. Here's the frustrating thing. If you look at Devil Dog's thing, so here's this. Were you sponsored for this, Devil? I feel like you were, but maybe not. You might actually just enjoy War Thunder. I know you've been sponsored recently, though. So, is it this one? I need to find the descriptions. Ah, here we go. Sponsored by Tripwire Interactive. So here's a video that's sponsored. Tom Clancy. Or wait, what? Oh, this is an actual. So see, look, this is actually interesting. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. So
What's up, guys?
that's an automated advertisement that was placed on Devil Dog's content. Now this is a video that Devil Dog made himself that he posted that is sponsored by Tripwire Interactive. So Tripwire Interactive makes Red Orchestra 2, and they pay Devil Dog to make this video. Happens all the time. Now, I gotta tell you, I actually don't really like doing these kinds of videos. It's really frustrating. I wish I could just play the game, and then not have to have like a bunch of criteria of things that I have to say and things that I have to do. But I'll do it every so often. But here's the point of what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is YouTube is obviously demonetizing Devil Dog's videos, right? Like they're demonetizing. I guarantee you they are. There's no way that they're not. They're demonetizing Devil Dog's videos, and saying that his videos aren't advertiser friendly. I'm actually kind of putting some words in his mouth here because, no, fuck it. Devil Dog's made videos about this before. I know for sure that he's been demonetized. I know for sure. But this is all hypothetical. It doesn't really matter if he has or not. I'm just using this as an example. Devil Dog has been demonetized, and whenever you're demonetized, that is YouTube. This is what this means. So if anybody tries to say that this means anything different, that it doesn't. Like this is what this means. If YouTube demonetizes your content, it means that that content is not advertiser friendly. It's either not advertiser friendly because it includes copyrighted material where you don't have the rights to it, or you do have the rights to it, but they're just telling you. They're just saying, "Hey, by the way, your content, people don't want to buy ads for it." That's what YouTube is saying when your video gets demonetized. And let me tell you this, that's bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. And here's the issue, right? Devil Dog is doing a video of Red Orchestra 2, right? Tripwire is paying him to make this video. And there's lots of other companies out there like Insurgency. In fact, Insurgency gets really frustrated because Insurgency has the name Insurgency in their goddamn game name. And almost everybody that plays Insurgency and titles their video Insurgency gets demonetized. They get demonetized every single time. So New World Interactive is really frustrated with it because their videos of people that are promoting their game for free are getting demonetized. So that's actually really frustrating them. And let me just ask you this: why? So if we are so advertiser unfriendly, why are there people who are literally coming to us asking us money to make advertisements of their products? That seems like the exact opposite. I'm going somewhere with this. Stick with me. That seems like the exact opposite of advertiser unfriendly. Like these are advertisers that are coming to us. They're not even going to you. They're not even going to YouTube. They're going to the influencers themselves and paying those influencers to make an advertisement for their game. I would say that's not very advertiser unfriendly. So let me ask you this. Let me play this video again. Let me play another video. Let's see here. Pizza delivery. Play an ad. Play an ad. Do it. There we go. Okay. You see this ad? You see this ad that is playing as a pre-roll for Devil Dog's content? Right? You see this ad up here? See this? Why is there not the ability to go to Devil Dog's channel and then click a button that says buy ads on Devil Dog's content? There should be a button right here that says buy ads for Devil Dog Gamer, and then you could click that button, and then instead of having to actually pay him in order to... Because here's the other thing. Let me show you this. This is another thing you guys may not know about. Here, look away for a second. Analytics. We're going to take a look at analytics, and then we're going to take a look at ad rates. Estimated monetized playbacks. Here we go. And let's take a look from 2016. We're going to compare this to views. Actually, wait, can I hold up? I'm trying not to show you guys my actual revenue because I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to do that. But I can show the estimated monetized playbacks. Compare metric, more metrics. Estimated monetized playbacks. Here we go. Perfect. And then we're going to do rolling 30-day totals. Here we go. All right. Okay, so check this out. Check this out, right? So here's my total views. I mean, obviously I stopped posting videos around here, so but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I still have the data. Because it doesn't matter how many views you have. It's just here's the point. I have gotten nearly 19,000 views. 19,000. Sorry, 19,000. Jesus, 19 million views since 2016. Even when I stopped posting, it's still getting. And of those views, only 5.5 million have actually had ads shown on them. So nearly a quarter, nearly less than a quarter, nearly less than a quarter of my views have actually had ads placed on them. And if you'll actually check, if you go from month to month, you'll notice that this ratio changes drastically. And when everybody got demonetized, the ratio fell drastically. So like take a look here. So look at this. This is when the demonetization happened right here. This is when we all saw it. So this was 1.7 million. I had 600,000 estimated monetized playbacks, and then 1.4 I had 200,000. So do the ratio on that, but you'll actually see that the ratio is decreasing. And what this means is it doesn't matter if you're uploading videos. It doesn't matter if you're getting views. If there either are not enough advertisers paying for ads to have an advertisement available to place on your channel, or if you've been demonetized and YouTube is specifically sending all of those ads to other channels that they think deserve that money. Because you got to keep in mind, a lot of these advertisers, they don't have any control over this. They don't have the ability to say, hey, we want this to go to Blue Drake, or hey, we want this to go to somebody else, right? YouTube chooses where the money goes. They're the ones that say, oh, hey, this is advertiser friendly, or oh, hey, this is not. So they decide. So if you get 2 million views, somebody else's 2 million views, if they make more advertiser-friendly content, is going to make more money than your 2 million views. There's massive differentials. Massive differentials between I remember I was making like $3,000 or $4,000 off of 2 million views. I had a friend that was making 10 to 15 off of 2 mil. I don't know how the hell that was possible, but it was. He was making like 10 grand off of I think 2 to 3 mil, which was insane. And he was making that like in April. It wasn't even December time. And as you guys know, you might have heard like when December comes around, obviously there's way more advertisers that buy way more ads. So your ratio goes up because they're actually able to fill that ad space that you have available more fully. Now here's the crazy thing. They're going around demonetizing channels like ours and artificially decreasing that advertiser ratio. Because they basically make the decision. They say, oh, hey, you're advertiser unfriendly. So these people who are buying ads through our system, which is the only way to buy ads on YouTube, is you buy it through a system, and you can have a couple of tags, and you can say, oh, hey, I want it roughly on this kind of content. But ultimately, it's up to YouTube and up to Google to decide where to place that advertisement. You have people that have no control, that are advertisers, that have no control over where their advertisement goes. And you have YouTube demonetizing channels like this and saying, "Oh, the reason we're demonetizing these guys is because they're advertiser unfriendly and nobody wants to buy ads for their content." Then why are companies literally coming to us? Physically coming to us and giving us money to make ads on our channel? Because they can't advertise on our channel. Like, look at this. Tripwire Interactive. Tripwire Interactive is physically incapable of purchasing pre-roll ads that they can specifically say they want to advertise on Devil Dog Gamer's channel. And I guarantee you, if they could, like seriously, like if you go to AdSense, you can't control where this stuff goes. So you see this PS4 advertisement on Devil Dog Gamer's channel, right? I guarantee you this stupid PS4 ad is also playing on a bunch of YouTube channels that are either bot channels or have viewers that are completely disengaged. But I guarantee you this ad on Devil Dog's channel actually probably gets a higher click-through rate than on other channels. But the advertisers who are actually buying these ads do not have the control to specifically say, "Hey, I want to buy ads for Devil Dog Gamer's channel." So, how can you continue trying to say who is advertiser friendly or not when you literally have advertisers buying ads on a channel through the only way they can, which is asking the creator to create a video and paying them to create a video? Why don't you allow the advertisers to say what is advertiser friendly? So like, yeah, you're gonna have Wall Street, like, let me put it this way, PewDiePie. Everybody was like, "Oh, PewDiePie's racist. Let's like not like," so you have to demonetize the entire platform in order to go against PewDiePie. Here's the thing. This should have never been a backlash against the entire platform. What should have happened is if people don't want to advertise their brand on PewDiePie's content, then just don't advertise on PewDiePie's content. There should be a thing where I should be able to go in here and I should be able to right click and say, "Don't advertise here." You know, like just blacklist PewDiePie for my brand. But at the same time, I guarantee you, if there was actually a button where people could go here and buy ads for PewDiePie, where they could come here and say, "Oh, I want to buy advertisements that only display on PewDiePie's channel," I bet he would make a killing. I bet even when he does advertiser unfriendly things, I bet he would still make a killing, because it's not the advertisers that are making these decisions on who is ad friendly or not. It's YouTube, and YouTube is politically motivated. They're not demonetizing videos because, oh man, like gun content isn't advertiser friendly. It's because they hate guns. Because Google is an anti-gun company. It's because it's the same thing. Like Google is an anti-tactical gaming company. Like they're anti. And here's the funny thing. I'm not even that conservative. Like, but it gets to this point where I don't even really consider myself conservative at all. I actually vote Democrat like a lot. So I think it's getting to this point where they're like infuriating more people than just like they're infuriating more people than just like Democrats. It's like they're almost, it's like it's getting to the point where I can't even stand up for this, because I'm telling you what is happening is these people actually are advertiser friendly. They actually are advertiser friendly. There are brands that want to fucking advertise on this shit. If there was a button where people could come here and they could buy ads on Devil Dog Gamers content, they would. They absolutely would. Fuck, I bet you could make it so you could make like random people like I don't understand why they don't do this. Like imagine how many fans Devil Dog has that would advertise. Like I guarantee you there's a bunch of like, you could even make your ads like tailored for that kind of content. You could make a pre-roll and it's like, "Hey, do you love Devil Dog? Well then try our product," or whatever. And you could buy an ad for that channel. I just I don't know. It would make a lot of sense. And then you could even have it so Devil Dog has the ability. It's like, see, that's the other thing. Why doesn't Devil Dog have the ability to control what kind? I guarantee you he has no idea what ads are playing on his channel. He has no idea right now. that this is being advertised on his channel. He has no idea what kind of brands. There could be somebody that was making an advertisement that's like, because look, you remember the whole political ads? You know, like where people, oh my God, I just realized that that's the case. How many political ads do you think have been on Devil Dog's on his channel? Because during haven't you guys seen like during the election season, you'll see ads on here. You'll see ads on here where people can buy where people buy political ads saying like, oh yeah, don't vote for this person or vote for this person. I wonder how many of those have been on Devil Dog's channel. Why doesn't he have the ability to like whitelist what advertisers are actually sponsoring his content? So what about his brand? You know, you have all of these advertisers are like, oh man, we're worried about our brand being associated with these negative people. Like, what about our brands being associated with advertisers that we don't want to be associated with us? You know, for all you know, Devil Dog has got fucking like perfume people like advertise. I don't fucking know, but it's the point is that it's hypocritical. It doesn't make any sense. These people are not advertiser unfriendly. What is happening is you are just politically motivated to destroy tactical gaming channels and destroy gun channels for your own political motivations. All right, that's it. Okay, it's been an hour. I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to make a little unlisted video and you can watch it. But I wanted to make this video. It's something I've been seeing for a while. It's very frustrating that this is kind of what's happening. The signs are very clear too. Like this isn't just weird conspiracy stuff. This is very specific. Like there's another thing that I haven't wanted to talk about because I'm genuinely afraid that I would get hit. But like there's other stuff that I've seen YouTube do that's politically motivated. I have seen I myself have been contacted by YouTube to make politically oriented videos during the whole like Trump Hillary like thing. So to act like YouTube is this like beautiful neutral company that has no interest in one side or another in terms of like to say that YouTube has no interest in exercising their influence for political gain is I think would be naive. And I think that there's a lot of people that are getting caught in the crossfire for reasons that just don't add up. Like imagine this video gets out and this video goes viral and then YouTube says like, "Oh yeah, we're not exercising this for political gain." Then why aren't you allowing these people who are you are suppressing and who you are demonetizing to have more control over their brand? If you're saying that they're not advertiser friendly and you're using that as an excuse to suppress their brand and to suppress their reach, why aren't you two reasons. Why are advertisers literally going to them and giving them money to make videos because they don't have the ability to get advertisements to play on their video directly? And then on top of that, why aren't you giving them the ability to why aren't you giving the advertisers the tools to choose what is advertiser friendly and what is not? Like why is YouTube the one that says what is advertiser friendly or not? I think it's a front. I think it's all a big front. I think that all of these tactical gaming channels are just being completely crucified for political reasons, which is also kind of one of the reasons that I got out of it because I just got sick of it. Like I'm just fucking tired of it. Like I'm gonna be honest, my channel got way too big. Like I got to this point where like I just wanted to make a channel where I could play video games. The fact that my channel got big enough where I got swept into all of this ridiculous political BS is just weird. Like this is the kind of stuff that I used to read about on the news and be like, yeah, well, that's never gonna affect me. And like now it is, and it's just that's ridiculous. You know, like I miss the days of being like a small pebble in, you know, something that was much bigger than me, and the anonymity of that was nice. You know, like not having people try to persecute me for like political gain or anything like that. Like it was great. And the fact that like that my channel got like big enough to actually get swept into all of this stuff is kind of frustrating. And the fact that like your success is gated because of something that's completely out of your control is also kind of frustrating. But here's the other thing. This actually goes much deeper because a lot of people are going to say like, "Oh man, Blue Drake, you think you're so important. You think that YouTube actually cares, whatever." Here's the thing. I actually think that they don't personally care about my channel. But this is another reason why I think artificial intelligence is becoming so scary because they are now using the algorithm. Because that's the thing. My channel, it's not like a person at YouTube came to me and shook my hand and was like, yeah, we're going to fuck your shit. They're using, and because this isn't just happening to me, this is happening to a huge amount of people on YouTube. And YouTube is a massive platform. There's like 1 billion people just like me uploading tactical content that are also being suppressed. And what is happening is back in the day, like I want to say 5, 10 years ago or whatever, YouTube literally didn't even have the infrastructure. They didn't even have the software in order to suppress ideologies or suppress opinions or suppress topics like this at such a massive scale. And what I actually think is happening, I think that this is one of the first examples of a company using an artificial intelligence algorithm in order to scan previously impossible amounts of content uh, in order to manipulate that content and manipulate their platform at such a massive scale uh, for a political goal, or really for any goal. Like this is basically artificially intelligence driven social engineering. Like, how are they finding my videos in order to demonetize them? They're using an AI to figure out, oh, is it war related? Is it conservative? Does it have guns in it? Does it have this? They're literally weaponizing artificial intelligence in order to suppress opinions and topics and ideas. And that's terrifying. And they're doing it under this guise of advertiser friendliness, but that's all bullshit because if they actually cared about advertisers having control of their brands and advertisers having control of what they put their ads on, they would give advertisers that control. They would give them the ability to go to a channel and say, I want to buy ads for this channel, or I don't want to buy ads for this channel, or I don't want my ads to show on this channel, or I do want my ads to show on this channel. They would allow that. But instead, they're just making themselves a middleman so they can control this flow of support and finance, and then using an artificial intelligence algorithm to scan massive amounts of data for ideologies and opinions that they disagree with, and then suppressing that under this false guise of doing it in order to make their platform more profitable. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. All right, that's it. Conspiracy of the day. Love you guys. Hopefully I don't get assassinated. See you guys in the next video. This is an hour. I'm cutting myself off. See you guys later. Love you. Cheers. I'm probably going to make another video here soon about Warfare 1944. And then it'll get demonetized because it has the word warfare.